Meow? Meow? What? I wasn't even recording. Just knocked over the vacuum cleaner. That's fine. Well, hello. Welcome back to my amazing friends, and welcome to those who are new. This week we are doing a DIY project. Since I'm trying to cut back on my thrifting habits, I have been promising you guys that I want to do more DIY and crafty content. So this week I am making good on my promise, and we are doing a fun little Fairycore DIY project. Now, if you are new to my channel and you haven't seen my other videos, my name is Scotty, and I like hobbitcore, fairycore, and thrifting, and just whimsical crap. If you like that kind of stuff, make sure you hit the red subscribe button. Make sure you hit like on this video because it really helps push my videos out in the algorithm. One video that I recommend you watching after you finish this video, if you haven't seen it, is my Hobbit door video. This was my other DIY project that I did on this channel, and there's more to come, definitely. But now let's get into what we're actually gonna be crafting this week. So I saw this on Pinterest, and of course, once you see one thing on Pinterest and you pin it, you start seeing more of those things on Pinterest. That's usually how it works. And I started seeing more inspiration. So these are other things that I started to see. Basically, they're these kind of fairy miniature cabinets or bookshelves, and I thought it was the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I really wanted one. Now, I did find an Instagram shop who does sell them, and this is one of the ones that they sell. However, at the time that I found them, they were sold out of like their slot for making custom ones, and they didn't really have any in their shop because they do a limited quantity. So I was like, I could totally make this. You know, looking at the price, I couldn't really swing that anyway, even if they did have slots open, because your girl's trying to save money. So I was like, I could totally make this for a lot cheaper. But I'm going to sidebar that and just say that even though I'm saying that, yes, I went out and bought the materials to make it myself and it was cheaper, when you buy a craft or a piece of artwork from an artist, you are not just paying for the materials, you are also paying for the time, the energy, the skill, the creativity, and all of that. And as someone who is delusional and thinks that she could possibly pull something like this off, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot myself. If I had the money, I would totally just buy it because I like my cute little whimsical stuff. But since I have time, I was like, I'm just gonna do it myself. But if you have the money, I highly recommend you just help support a small artist, you know, live their dreams and buy one. But if you're like me and you're broke and you're delusional, then you can also follow along with this video and make it yourself, or take inspiration for what I'm doing and make something like it. Who knows? I am going to be listing all of my materials down in the description. Mostly everything was from Amazon. I also just had a lot of materials that I hoard that I used. So I'm going to make an idea list so you guys can like kind of get an idea of what you can use. But I highly recommend, if you are a crafter, just checking to see what you have already before you go out and buy anything. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Let us start making this cute little fairy thing. So first, I'm starting off with this mini cabinet that I got off of Amazon, and I got this light natural color because I thought it would be easy to sand down and stain. And I also got these cute little tiny bottles off of Amazon, and I just filled them with various things like glitter, moss, and sand. And I'm using some vintage printed washi tape to label them. I don't actually know what these say, but you know, we're just going for a vibe. I actually already had these little decorative corners in my stash, but I also got these off of Amazon, as well as these tiny little books. And usually when you buy miniatures online, they'll say what the scale is. So I believe the scale is 1 to 12. I don't know technical stuff, but so is the bookshelf, so it's the right scale. And we also need some other little paper doodads, so I'm just going through my stash of scrapbooking materials as if I actually scrapbook, which I do not. I'm basically just looking for tiny little nature details, and I found these pages. So I'll be cutting these up and using them as decor. And the next step is to sand this thing down and get it ready for staining or painting. This is definitely not foreshadowing. Admittedly, I probably could have done a better job of sanding and using different grits, but I was lazy and I did not. But we're just gonna pretend like I did my due diligence. Oh yeah, so staining did not work, so I am now attempting to stain it with acrylic instead of the wood stain that I had. And yeah, that didn't work, so now we're gonna just go in with green paint. At this point, I have abandoned the plan of painting it brown. I mean, in a way, we're kind of staying true to our original inspiration, so it works. Although the color that we're gonna be going for is more of like a teal teal turquoisey green rather than the true planty green of our reference image. So now just enjoy the next few minutes of painting and paint mixing ASMR. Except I've muted the clips because whenever my camera tries to focus, it picks up all the noise of the lens and it sounds really, really annoying. So my lens kind of sounds like the aliens from Signs when they talk. It's like it's really annoying and I hate it, which is why I usually use an external mic. But even with my boom mic, or not boom mic, what do you call it, the shotgun mic, you can still hear it. So I have to always edit it out and post whenever I use that mic. It's fun. The things I do for an artsy fartsy depth of field. Like, I try to be relatable and then I'm like aesthetic. But you know what? I'm just gonna be both. I'm gonna be both aesthetic and relatable. How about that? So this part of the process took the most time because I did not want the paint to rub off because this garnish or whatever they had on this was a pain in the butt and I did not sand enough of it off. So I had to wait for layers to dry and then paint over it over and over and over again, which is technically what you're supposed to do, but I'm impatient and I just wanted to slap one fat layer of color on it and call it a day, but I definitely couldn't do that. Plus I wanted to give it depth and give it shading. So yeah, we had to wait, we had to be patient. And yeah, I had Netflix playing on my iPad the entire time in the background, and I definitely went through 3 seasons of a TV show. And I also just realized I changed from present tense to past tense, but you guys know if I'm recording a voiceover, yeah, this happened in the past. This is not present tense. So, you know what, just ignore the fact that no continuity, but whatever. So right now, as you can see, we're adding shading. I'm using a darker color. I mixed some black in with the color as well as some other colors. And as I wait for that coat to dry, I'm now cutting out some of my little tidbits. Some of these scrapbook pages had some cute little butterflies and other little botanical details, so I think I'm gonna make myself a little butterfly board. And then here I'm making a scroll, or actually this is just the page, but I'm gonna be making scrolls too. Gotta cut those edges to look nice and natural, and then I'm going in with shading with my alcohol markers. I use Copic because I'm fancy like that. Look at that cute little page. Oh yeah, and I think this is the one that I turn into a scroll. I shall dub it the Doom Scroll, named after my incessant habit of scrolling through TikTok for hours on end. Also, I haven't listened to any of this back, so I can't tell if you can hear my dog going to town on her bone. But yeah, my little video buddy, my assistant, says hi. And then here I'm just cutting my little butterfly page out of the tape because I missed the part where I taped it. The tape both serve the purpose of keeping the butterflies down and also give the illusion, Michael, that it's a glass shadow box thingy. And then this is my little leather journal with gold pages. It's just 2 of the books taped together, and then I painted some washi tape brown so it kind of looks like leather. And then we're right back at it with more and more layers of paint in order to give that sweet, sweet shading and depth, which also serves the purpose of making it look nice and weathered. When I tell you I have hours and hours of footage of just me painting this dang thing, I do. And guess how much of it is actually in focus? Not much. Guys, I am a professional. Okay, it's looking busted right now, but I swear to God, it's gonna look amazing soon. So just keep that in mind. And part of the highlights, I'm going in with more of a vivid green in order to kind of like catch the light to make it look golden. And then I'm just kind of buffing that in. This was like 40% painting and 60% just blending. Now that the paint job is done, it's time to decorate. And then I really wanted a candlestick holder that looks kind of like this. And that's when I noticed something in my reference images. What they used looked an awful lot like earring backs. So I tested it out and voila, held together by a blank earring. So I made a candle out of clay. And then I made another candle that's kind of like melting over the cabinet, and that is out of hot glue and wax. I didn't like how this one looked white, so I'm gonna paint it red. And I knew I wanted a skull, so I made a bird skull. And then here's the finished paint job of the red candle. So far, so good. I didn't mention this, but I took the drawers that came in this out because they kept falling out and I didn't like it, so I'm just gonna use them as shelves. Now we get to add moss. I started off using white glue, but then I quickly switched to hot glue. I don't know why I tried anything different. Hot glue is the GOAT. But enjoy this footage of me struggling. And if anyone is wondering, I used a high temp hot glue gun as well as heavy duty hot glue. This is what a lot of cosplayers use. And it works 99.9% better than any craft hot glue situation. Add the little corners, which I feel like it really pulls everything together. And when in doubt, add more moss, because I still have so much moss left over from my mirror project. I've legit used this moss for like several other projects and I still have not run out. Shade, shade, shade. Gotta make the dead thing look realistic. And time to add the candle, and it will definitely fall off like 12 times while doing this project. This is honestly the most enjoyable part of the project, and it's just adding the little thingies to the thing. And I will 1000% change my mind on the placement of everything. And no cottagecore project is complete without some mushrooms. Mushroom dance. And of course I had to use an acorn cap as a little basket and add some moss to it, and it's adorable. Posca pen coming in clutch as always. Oh yeah, it's all coming together now. Are you gonna focus on my face? Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we are finally finished with this project. I'm really glad that I did this. It's just my sleeve, you know, falling off because I need to take these in a little bit. So I'm really glad that I did this. I have been putting off this project for so long and I finally did it. And honestly, I underestimated how much I was gonna love how it's gonna turn out. I also underestimated how much time it was gonna take to finish it. I started this, I think on, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. I think Thursday. Time is an illusion. But it took several days of hyper focusing to actually get it done, and it is done. So, and it's now Saturday. So there's a reason why artists who make these, that sell these on Etsy or on their website, charge what they do, because there's so much time, attention to detail that is required. Since I, you know, have time to kill, I was able to do it. So win-win. Next time, if I want another thing like this, I'll probably commission it if I have the money for it, because I binge watched an entire 3 seasons of a TV show while finishing this, while working on this. It took a couple like all-dayers. There was a little bit of procrastination here and there, but for the most part, I was in it, man. But I am super obsessed with how it turned out, and I might add like little things here and there to the top of it. I'm not quite sure yet. I just have that one bottle on the top. I kind of want to add more. But at this point, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to film this outro and edit this video and get this up, because as much as I loved the process of this, it was a lot. I also made a huge freaking mess of my desk, so I really need to clean and get things put back together, because I don't know about you guys, whenever I do any kind of craft project or just any kind of project in general, my room gets destroyed. So I need to fix that before I get overwhelmed. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope this provided you with some inspiration on your own Fairycore whimsical cottagecore projects. Let me know down in the comments if you guys decide to do something similar. If you do end up making anything like this, make sure you tag me on Instagram or DM me on Instagram and let me know. Make sure you like this video. And yeah, I suck at outros, man. Bye.